Adam Palmer. I'm here today with Keith K-Mac McHoney. You go by Keith or do you K-Mac or does that matter?
When I'm at work, I'll just hang with my friends as Keith. When I'm
Keith.
lifting at the gym, it's K-back.
So two different personal. Is that two different personalities there, or is that just just a
Yeah.
coincidence?
Keith is calm, laid back, just go with the flow. K-Mac creates the flow.
That's awesome. K-Mac is an animal lifter, right?
Yeah.
That's so. Go ahead and, if you don't mind, kind of tell everybody a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got started with powerlifting.
I'm K-Mac. I'm 30 years old. I've been lifting since I was 14 years old at Timberland High School in St. Stephen, South Carolina. It's it's one of the things in my life I can, without a doubt, say I was born with it. It came naturally. I don't. I've never really had a coach. Everything I've done, I've learned what my body do, and I've changed. I know what works, and believe me, I do know what doesn't work. I've had plenty failures that get me where I'm at now, and like I always worked out. And about 13 years ago, I got out of high school. I tried to get in contact with people to power lift, but didn't really know anyone. So I just kind of stopped. I stopped lifting, but I didn't lift as hard. And I went through a bad breakup with this young lady, and it motivated me so much. It just, all my goals, everything I did before, I just shot past it. Added on 25, 30 pounds of muscle in 2 months.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
So so why would you say you got started lifting? Just you just went into the gym and just kind of fell in love with it, or
Well, my first love is football.
okay,
And as you can see from my videos, I'm 5'4", 5'5", and I was like 90 pounds in high school.
Jesus.
So if you had to make it, you had to make an impression. So I went in the weight room and made my impression in there, so they let me play on the field on Fridays.
What
Just
what position
found
did
out,
you play?
oh, I was a cornerback. I love to hit.
Okay, that's awesome. So um, let's see. So getting a little more into your lifting. Have you ever been compared to, let's say, Richard Hawthorne a little bit? If have you Do you know who that is? I mean,
I know I know who that is, and I've had people tell me I remind them of him, but I don't watch other lifters and their styles. I might watch a competition, but the training and all that stuff, I don't watch that.
sure.
I know.
Well, and you even look like him. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think your hair's better than his, but you look very similar. You have a very similar demeanor too. When you approach the bar, I think that definitely shows through, and it's really surprising that, I mean, you're basically like almost a mirror
Yeah,
copy.
I've had people tell me that before.
Yeah. So I mean, more on drug free. Why drug free? Why have you chose to be drug free your entire life? It seems.
I mean, it's natural. If it's To me, if it's not you, if it's something else that's helping you, what's the point?
Yeah.
If I can't find it within me to do it, then I don't believe I should be doing it.
But yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Um, so we talk about your training a little bit. You say that you have kind of found what works and what doesn't work, and have you kind of developed your own training methodology throughout your career, or did you kind of what are kind of some successes and some failures that you've had?
Like for me, mainly like my bench and squats, I do 5 sets of five, 5 sets of eight, 3 sets of five, or 3 sets of three. I've tried the pyramid before in high school. It didn't work. My body just won't, for some reason, my body won't allow me to finish it. I never finished it in high school. But when I do the 5 sets of five, it's just a different feel. I can feel myself getting stronger as I'm working out. I know when it comes near the competition time where I'm going to be, where I'm at. But uh,
Do you typically periodize your training at all, or like so start with higher volume at the beginning of the season and kind of gradually work into less volume and more like hit bigger loads, heavier weights?
I don't lift in seasons. I lift year round, but I don't do heavy weights. I don't come nowhere near my max unless it's 2 days before the competition or at the competition.
Wow. So that's something that's really different from a lot of people. Like you'll hear people talking about block periodization, and they start getting into we're going to use like 70% of my max for a couple of weeks, then kind of increase the intensity gradually up until the meet time. Then 3 weeks out from the meet, you're looking at using near max loads for a longer period of time than what it seems you're talking about. That's very interesting. Um, so of note here, uh, more getting into the competition and kind of what are some of your best lifts in competition, by the way, just to give people reference here?
So far, my best squat is 523. My best bench is 347, and my best deadlift is 584. But
That
I don't know. It's me. It's always funny at competition. Like my best squat is 523, but the best I ever felt when I squatted, I got 518. And the 523 shocked me, but the 518 I knew I could have gotten.
Yeah, that's awesome. And have you had very steady progress throughout your career, or has there always been have you had a lot of setbacks, like injuries and stuff?
I hurt my back about 2 years ago, and then I did it again about 3 months ago. That's the only that's the only setback I have. But it's funny because I only do it when I try to jump too high on my squat workout. Then I go right back down and don't have any problems.
Right. So that's probably a very good reason why you keep your loads relatively low, like in the 70% range, I would imagine.
I couldn't. I don't do percentages.
So you auto regulate completely. You don't even
I don't do
how do you plan your training on a weekly basis? That's very interesting.
my training. Like my training is year round. If the weight feels so easy that I'm doing a workout with no problem, then I move up weight. But like as far as the percentages, not to me, lifting weight is fun. It's what I love doing. Putting all that stuff into it makes it like a job.
Sure.
I don't want this to ever be like a job. I'll go up
Wow.
there and fun and I'm laughing. I'm
So
having a great.
so you don't do any kind of planning at all, really. Like you don't think about you kind of know generally what movements you're going to do when you go into a training session, but you don't really. I mean, you bet. What do you do? You squat 3 times a week, or 2 times a week, or bench 3 times a week.
Bench 2 times a week, squat 2 times a week, deadlift one.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
that's the KMAC routine. That's
yeah.
crazy. Because so, have you found that your progress was faster or slower with higher or lower frequency than what you're talking about? Have you tried squatting more or less, or
I just try squatting more because I feel as though I'm ready to do it, and my body will tell me in that first set if I'm not. But like far as saying you've done it for like 4 weeks, time to move up, I don't do that. It's never a set time. I let my body tell me when it feels like it's comfortable for me to do something or
uh
when I
huh?
should. Like,
That's Go ahead. I'm sorry.
every competition, my first two squats, my first two bench, and first two deadlift, I know exactly what they're going to be. If I do the first squat, bench, or deadlift, and something feels a little bit off, I adjust the second. My body is telling me that no, you shouldn't do that, so I adjust the second one. Sometimes I don't even do a third lift. I Out of everything I've done so far in my life, to me, health is more important than trying to set a record at going for anything. If I can be a pound away from a record, I would stop right there. It's just not worth it.
That's awesome to hear you say that. And for everybody listening, you guys need to take a lot of like lifters that would be great lifters need to take a lot of lessons from what you're doing, because it sounds like you go into a meet and you go into a competition without ego and without. I mean, I'm sure it may creep in every once in a while, but it seems like you really like intuitively know your body and what you're capable of doing, and that really shows through in the way you compete. Because I hardly ever see you miss lifts, and I've seen you compete a few times now. That's really, really impressive to me. And to be honest, that's the mark of a great powerlifter. You've totaled what, over 10 times body weight at under 140. So
Yeah.
that's. I know you're probably gonna tell me. We'll see what happens, but do you have any big plans for nationals coming up here? I know we're only a couple days away.
Nah, like my last competition was a month ago, and I did that so my family could see me lift. Everything I did at that competition is almost the same thing I plan to do at nationals. If my body feels even better, I'll try a little more, but you can almost bank on the same thing happening.
And have you ever had a coach or a handler or anything like that? You've never gone into a competition with somebody kind of helping you plan out your lifts, or
I never have anybody help me plan on my lift, but if I got my brother there with me, Justin Shepard, and I do a lift and it don't feel right to me, I'll ask them how did it look to them, and then they help me make my decision on my next lift.
yeah, yeah. So so I noticed on social media, this is a little off subject, but it's a little bit of Chris Rock reference, the friend zone. That saw that the other day. I laughed a little bit. I was like, so what happened, man? You stuck in the friend zone?
Life is funny, man. The more I power lift, the more I get my name out there, the more women talk to me. The ones that I want to talk to only see me as a friend because the other one's trying to talk to me.
That's funny. I met my wife that way, man. You don't really choose. I feel like you don't really choose your partner in some ways. They have to choose you. And
Uh,
it goes both ways, but that's funny that you say that. Um, I had another question. Your brother. I know you've mentioned that your brother is a huge inspiration for you. Is there some story behind that, or has he just kind of been there for you your whole life?
like my brother is that one person. Like right now, I can go into a competition. Like how you said, I approach a competition with no ego. Let's say I was to ever go into one with an ego. He would be that person there that bring me back down to reality. Like if I can do the silliest things in the world. Yeah, I know he'll have my back. He'll tell me what's right and what's wrong from that. If I go into a competition and I feel as though I'm not 100% healthy to do this right here, he would never say, just go ahead and try it anyway. He said, well, then pull back. Like I can count on him for 100% honesty, 100% truth, anything. Like that one person that if you call, will be there.
Yep, that's awesome. Because a lot of people don't necessarily have that. I think most people have something that they can rely on in their lives that maybe not necessarily like a brother or maybe it's a spouse or something like that. But that's cool. Um, so I'm gonna reference the KMAC poster that I kind of put together. You got the reference, right? When I build this video, I'll post a shot of that. You got the reference, though. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And you said that people have told you that before, and because when I took that photo, that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, aliens.
I've, I've heard that quite a few times. People will come that aliens, predator, and say yeah, cause like I guess they reference the fact that they were strong, but the way they look is almost similar to me in my hair.
Yeah, it is. It's your hair, dude. It's your hair. I'm telling you, man. That's awesome. But yeah, maybe some people have that on their wall. I thought that was like the most appropriate way to. The inspiration was just instantly there. I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. And you got a few sponsors too. Who are you sponsored by?
Real Health Clinic in Goose Creek, South Carolina. The leading chiropractor is Dr. Matthew Hunter. when I first hurt my back, he helped me, and he's been there since I started powerlifting, and he's sponsoring me now. And often go to the gym, Practical Fitness in Ladson. They help me out sometimes when I go there. And Kimberly Basil with Basil Bodies, they help me out a lot. She gives me a lot of information on things I need to do with my business and keep it going. And ESAC in Goose Creek, South Carolina, they allow me to use their facilities and train and help me get where I need to be.
Have you found that chiropractic and massage therapy and all that have been really helpful for you over the years?
The chiropractic, yeah. But for some reason, massage therapy, I just don't feel anything. I don't know. My body just don't certain things like everybody else.
Fair enough. Anything else you want to say?
Oh, well, yeah. At my last competition, this lady came and talked to me, and she said, you Keith McHoney, aren't you?" I
Uh-huh.
said, "Yeah." She said, "You K Mac?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "My son was telling me all about you, but he was too nervous to come up and talk to you. If anybody out there see me at a competition and you want to talk or chat, feel free to come and talk to me. I understand I have a mean look on my face, but just because I'm always thinking about the next thing I'm focused on the next thing I'm going to do. But you can still come and talk to me. Please don't be shy about that."
Well, I wish I would have I wish I was going to be there to see you lift. Unfortunately, I am not able to get away from here until Thursday afternoon. My flight gets in at noon because I would definitely come in and have a chat with you for sure. Um, I mean, you're going to basically run away with the 60 kilo class in my opinion. So, I mean, you're about 100 pounds, 150 pounds more than the next guy behind you. Have you been to IPF Worlds before, or is this kind of the first international debut that you're looking at?
I done Raw Nationals last year and the Arnold earlier this year. But
And and
the,
you kind of stole the show at the Arnold from what I understand.
that was a it was a different experience for me right there. I got to get used to that.
Like, how
I've
is it different?
I mean, like I've had competition where people will be at and stuff, but I don't pay no mind. I'm there just focusing on the lifting. And the first time I walked out at the Arnold, it was funny when I was walking in the first go get dressed and everything. There wasn't that many people in there. And when I went out to lift, there was a bunch of people. The lights were low, and the light was just shining on me. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, that never happened before. That was
yeah.
the first time it just shocked me. I'm like, man, they got just the lights on me. And then I went and lift.
So I mean, you were like basically unknown before then. You know, you went to nationals and you kind of you won nationals. I'm guessing
Yeah.
because like at your body weight, nobody lifts more than like 1,300 pound total. Like that just doesn't happen. I mean, for whatever reason. So then you must definitely be looking forward to IPF World Championships in Killeen.
I want to say yeah, but those things cost a lot, man. I don't unless something changes in my life right now. I don't see me being able to make it.
You sure, dude? I think people would crowdfund you to get out there.
Yeah, you would think that. I tried it before, but a lot of people that want to see me lift is in the same situation I'm in.
Yeah,
I can only hope for the best, but right now it don't look likely.
yeah. We'll see. I wouldn't count yourself out just yet. I definitely would hope to see you there. I'm planning on being there myself. Yeah, I mean, dude, budget for it and save up, and all else fails, try to crowdfund it. That's what I would say. And um, yeah, man, you definitely should try and get out there. But like I said, the most intriguing thing I found about you now is that you like it's crazy that you kind of you come in your training is you've got your routine and that's it, and everything else is just like as a lot of people get really hung up on, oh man, I got to hit this percentage today, or we're working with up to this effort level, or and that's it. But so you're going back to your training again. You train. Do you ever train like to failure, or do you always train to like one or two reps shy of failure, that sort of thing?
I work out by myself, so like on some bench, I do in 5 sets of 8. If on the last one I get the 6, and it's a struggle, and I think I can do 7, I'll try 7. But if 6 is such a struggle, I just stop right there. I just I'm just not gonna put more on my body than what it can handle. I've had that mindset before growing up, and all that has gotten me was just a little bit of injuries, things out of whack. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, yeah, that's nuts. So your biggest international competition is this Russian guy, Fedosenko. He's I guess he's a lighter, or is he a? To look him up real quick. I'll probably cut this part out, but um, do you follow you? So you don't really follow any of the international guys. Do you follow any of the international competitors at all to see what they're doing? Just like maybe like know see what their numbers are at all.
I don't look at their numbers, but if I'm scrolling on Facebook, Jason Mankoff will post something, I'll read it. Only thing is, I'm not the best person with the kilograms,
Sure.
so I got to sit there and then work it out. If there's a lot of numbers on it, I'm like, man, screw this, man. But I've seen some of them what they do, and like I hate to sound mean, but like any video I see, if they don't got the amount they lifting or the weight class they in, I don't even look at it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the world record. So you're actually coming very close to the world record squat. This guy Stephen Cascoli, I guess, from Canada. He's sitting on a 240.5 kilo squat, and you're right up there. So I guess that's what 240 is almost. That's like 550 something pounds, I guess. Or no, that's 538 roughly. So you're really like within striking distance of that if things are feeling really good. So maybe we'll see a world record squat in the future.
I like it. I look at his video because he started following me on Instagram. I started following him.
Uh huh.
At the progression he's going right now, if I catch him, it'll be a year from now at least.
Yeah. When did you find out that? When did you figure that your progress started taking longer and longer? Was there kind of a threshold from like intermediate to advanced lifter?
Like when like my progression has always been it move, and almost stop, then takes a big jump. And it moves, almost stop, then a big jump. It's been that way since 1999.
Wow.
It has never changed. Like my bench, when I first started polish, my bench was 347. My body weight was kind of high. Then I got it back down. The bench went down to 330, and then it went back up to 347. Most people tell me I need to change what I do or anything like, but to me that's been my whole life. That's how my body works.
So you've had a 300 plus bench for a really long time.
Yeah, like when I left high school, I was benching 300,
Because of football, I would imagine. Or
and like, my bench progression is the only thing that moves extremely slow. It always moves. I stay the same, but it moves extremely slow.
have you thought about doing like overload type work, like maybe with a slingshot or anything like that?
Never.
Really?
Nah.
You don't think overload would help at all?
Everything I do is I want. That's just not for me. I just can't say no. It's just not for me.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, your bench is still impressive for your body weight. 350 roughly bench at your body weight is I mean, you got the American record, so
Yeah,
it's hard to argue with that.
it should be better. I'm working on it. I don't like where it's at right now.
Yeah, I think every man's goal is the 405 plus bench. I think that's legit. But
I figure maybe one day I might get 405, but getting it at this body weight, I don't know if that's possible. I'm gonna try, but I don't know if it's possible.
so speaking of body weight, do you ever plan to move up, or is that kind of a set thing? Do you have to cut weight or anything like that?
Like when I train, I run. I do my cardio one day out the week while I'm training, and like a month for the competition, my body weight is normally 146 to 148. So I figured might well take it down under 145, then go compete. If I ever get to the point where I train and it goes up to 155 or something, then I'm not gonna try to lose 10 pounds. I'm just gonna compete in next class.
Yep, that makes sense. So it seems that you've really I mean, your progress, like weight wise, has been always very slow, and or at least you say you made a big jump when you started training seriously for for extended amount of time, and you just always kind of stayed at the same body weight relative to your capabilities, and not really worrying about it, just kind of letting your body go where it's going to go.
Yeah, like to me, my body does what it needs to do. Like I can tell you right now, my birthday is May 27th. For my birthday, I had uh, a red velvet cake all of myself, but my body weight went up to 153. And once I started training again, it dropped right back down to 146, 147. Like my body does what it needs to do. I'm not gonna force it to do anything.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey man, hey, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat with me. Yeah. Again, one last time, give everybody your social media stuff, and if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. And with that being said, so where can we find you at again?
You can find me on Facebook, Keith McHoney, Keith K Mac McHoney. You can find me on Instagram at K Mac Powerlifter. You can find me on YouTube channel at Keith Mac 24. Just if you want to get in contact with me, just feel free to write me on any of those things, or you can go to my website, keithkmacmachoney.com, and just write me, and I'll be glad to write back.
Awesome. Hey, again, thanks for your time, man. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch up with you again. Maybe we'll see you at Worlds. It'd be awesome.
Maybe. All right, thank you, man.
Hey, take it easy, dude.
All right, man.